Hello everyone, it's Jimmy here and welcome back to the channel. Well, as you can see in the background, we got a lot of snow recently. I mean, it's good for photography, but not ideal for testing lenses because it lacks a bit of variety and you just be shooting colorless pictures. So I thought, why not talk about something else, and let's take a break from the series that we started several episodes ago, and we'll come back to reviewing lenses in the next few episodes. And today we're going to chat about medium format cameras. Now, as you can see here, I have gone back to X1D Mark II and sold my X2D camera, and I've also got a couple of small lenses such as this 28mm P series lenses here, and I kept my 55V because it's relatively lightweight, and also the 45P. The reason being, like I mentioned in my Hasselblad X2D review video, even though that camera delivers unparalleled image quality, but I'm always hesitant to bring it out because it's a little bit chunky, it's a little bit heavier. So yeah, it's so much easier to just grab your Leica and go. So the reason I went back to X1D is I remember how comfortable it was when I was holding it. Yes, it doesn't have Ibis, which is something I'm definitely gonna miss, but just the sheer size and weight reduction is just night and day difference. Well, bear in mind that if you look on paper, right, the X2D is not that much larger and heavier than the X1D, but in reality, you can really feel it. And also, I found the mode dials on the X2D to be a much useful thing than the LCD screen on the X2D. I use it a lot. I set, different cropping mode to different custom modes because I shoot with this 28mm here. As some of you might know, there's a little bit of corner smearing, purplish tint in the corners using on the X1D. That's why I always use it in X-Pan mode, which is also my preferred mode when using this focal length because it's a little bit too wide for daily use. So yeah, having the mode dial on top, it just makes life so much easier. Some of you might suggest, if you're after lightweight, why not just go full frame, right? But every time you look at the files these medium format cameras can produce, doesn't matter if it's GFX system or Hasselblad XCD system, it just reminds you, why they exist, right? Why people gravitate towards these kind of cameras, even though they're, much chunkier and heavier than their full frame counterparts, because the image quality is just unbelievable and breathtaking. So yeah, talking about lightweight medium format systems, we have a new camera that's rumored to be coming out this year and actually very soon, probably in March, which is the GFX100RF. I'm pretty sure if you're into medium format, you must have read the rumors about this camera. So I just want to, run down the spec sheet and share a little bit about my thoughts on this camera. What we know so far is this is going to be a medium format fixed lens camera that's about the size of a X Pro 2 or X Pro 3. But I've got a rumor that it's not gonna be looking like the X Pro 2 or X Pro 3, which I think is a bit of a shame because I really loved the design of those rangefinder-like cameras. But rather it's gonna look like the XH2. So you would have a shorter screen, right? And then it's more shaped like the GFX100S series of cameras rather than the 50R. So what do I think about that? Well, I mean, as long as they execute it well, I don't mind too much about, the design or the look of the camera body, as long as, it's lightweight, it's small-ish, I hope. Other than that, there's also a boatloads of dials and levers, physical controls on the camera, like a crop mode selector, a aspect ratio selector, maybe even a film simulation selector. Well, to be honest, I don't really care about any of these. It might be good to have because I don't know, we've never had a camera with so much levers and toggles on the body itself, so we might have to try it out and see whether that works. But the things that people care more about are the lens spec and whether it has Ibis, right? Because it's a 100 megapixel medium format camera, and it better has Ibis, because the only thing I miss on this X1D2 is actually the Ibis, because I sometimes get blurry photos even at 4 times the focal length on these kind of large pixel dense sensors. So having Ibis would definitely save the day. But unfortunately, according to the rumors so far, we don't have Ibis on that camera. My guess is either they're really trying to make it as small as possible, as lightweight as possible, or they're saving this for the second generation, right? Like on their X100 series of cameras. It started out without Ibis and then they incorporated that in later models. Either way, it's a bit of a shame that they don't have Ibis on it, but also they're gonna pair it with a f4 lens. Well, I guess since it's medium format, if you make the lens a 2.8 or even an f2, it's gonna be huge, right? And I respect that. I respect that they made a decision to make it an f4 lens and also a 28mm equivalent f4 lens. The reason being, one complaint I have about the Leica Q is the lens sticks out too much, which not only makes it much less portable, but also it tips the balance off a little bit. I prefer cameras that feels like this. You have a shorter lens and a wider body, so you can have a better grip on it. It just feels a little bit more comfortable to hold. So yeah, I respect their decision to go with f4. It's just without the Ibis, we'll have to wait and see how ISO performance is, because I doubt it's gonna perform well when the light is dim. So yeah, we just have to see. Maybe they come out with something like what Hasselblad did with their system, is the new noise reduction mechanism, which pretty much eliminates the need for Ibis. With AI and everything, we have so much technology these days we can do in the post that probably Fuji can also pull that one off. About 28mm, like this lens is 28mm on medium format, so it's much wider in full frame terms. It's about a 22, 23, and that's definitely too wide. While a 28 equivalent medium format lens, I think it's perfect. Because we're talking about a 100 megapixel sensor, so even if we crop it to like 35 equivalent or 50mm equivalent, we still got a lot of pixels left. I understand that it's not going to be one-to-one identical to those focal lengths because we are dealing with depth of field here, but it's still usable at those cropped factors. So yeah, overall, I think this is a really exciting camera, and I will definitely get my hands on it first on the launch day and to test it out for you guys. But before that, I'll stick with my X1D2 because I think it's still a marvelous system in 2025. If you don't need Ibis and if you shoot in a relatively slower pace. So yeah, what do you think about the new GFX camera that's coming out, and what do you think about going forward for these medium format cameras? Leave your comments down below and feel free to share with all of us, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye.